Oh man, not the best day at all for the stock market and especially for Tesla stock, which we have some big news regarding Tesla stock that we have to break down in this video. So let's not waste any time. If you all find value, hit the like button, subscribe, and get your 20 stocks from Moomoo and your 12 stocks from Webull, link down below, and let's just dive into the video. So listen, we had a red day in the markets. You guys know that today. Well, maybe you don't know that. If you didn't know that, I'm going to tell you right now, markets did not do well at all. We had the Russell down 1.3%, NASDAQ down 2.5% as the S&P went down 1.4% and the Dow held up, pretty well, decent, but still went down 1% as the VIX went up over 9.4%, pretty much 9.5%. As you guys can see here, the VIX had a crazy day. I mean, look at this. VIX yesterday was at 1994 at the low. You guys can't see it. My face is covering it, but right around 1994, and it ran all the way to 24 points today. 22% move there in the VIX from yesterday, which is unfreaking believable. And the metals, I believe, now it shows the metals. Yeah, metals are up. Gold up 0.5%, or rather silver up 0.5%. Gold up about 0.3%. So let me show you guys what I'm seeing here on these markets, which we did cover this in my last video. Let me show you all a quick little update here. We saw a bit of a rally, a pretty decent rally here at that on SPY and on Triple Q here from the lows. We hit 374.77 at about 1:40 p.m. on the East Coast, and we bounced right off that point and rallied all the way to 380. We closed over 380, meaning SPY had a 1.5% push heading into close, which, I mean, that's a pretty big move, guys. And Triple Q, I bet, had a bigger move. Let's take a look here. 262 to about actually less of a move, right? Or 1.6%. From 262 to about 266. Pretty, yeah, a little bit more than SPY, right? Pretty big move there. So we saw, it makes sense, right? We saw a lot of selling in the pre-market and in the first half of the day, more than just the first half of the day. So it makes sense that we saw a bit of a rally, right? Which, I mean, it still is not good for the bulls. The Bears are still in charge, even though we had that rally, obviously, guys. And what I pointed out in my last video here is we have a head and shoulders forming on Triple Q. You guys see it right here, right? We have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. It looks like there could be some more downside on that right shoulder towards 250, 255, right, on Triple Q here. And SPY, if I pull it up, you guys are going to see it, right, clear as day. Left shoulder's right here, the head, the right shoulder. And we're pretty much now hanging on by a thread. We can see the lows from the 19th of this month a couple days ago. We're right around 376. We held those today, which I guess is good for the bulls. But, guys, if we fall under 375, let's say, to put a round number on it on SPY, there's going to be a lot more selling. So I'm actually going to set my alert at $375. Mark is at or below. The right shoulder is going to have a lot more momentum at that point. That could get SPY down to 355, 360. Who knows, right? And let me pull up oil and see what ended up happening on crude oil today. So this ended up going up around 1%. Not much change here in oil. It's right around 78 a barrel, which is where I think it was, no joke, last time we covered it. So not much movement today. It looks like we did hit about 80 a barrel. That was in the morning. So it looks like we hit about 80 a barrel at 6 a.m. on the East Coast, and we downtrended all the way to about 1:30 p.m. on the East Coast, so pretty much all day, the first half of the day, more than just the first half. And then we saw a bit of a rally from 77 and now over 78 a barrel is where it's trading. So it looks like crude oil is holding the trend. If you guys look here on the 5-day, 5-minute, looks like it is holding an uptrend, which I guess is good for the very short term, for the bulls. But if we scroll back a little bit, 4-hour chart, oil is still clearly in a downtrend. And right here, we're still at a lower high at about 78, 80 bucks compared to the previous 82, $83 high compared to the previous $88 high. And the list goes on, right, guys? So let's take a look at Tesla stock and see what's going on. What's going on here, because we got some news which is sending the stock up a bit here after the bell. And we know that Elon Musk's word, it's, he says a lot of crap sometimes and he doesn't follow through. Let's be honest here. So his word doesn't mean as much as other people's words. And you could look at Elon Musk and be like, I don't trust this guy at all, which I can see, your perspective, if that's how you're looking at it. But we got news today. Well, I mean, I don't know if you'd call this news or what, but Elon Musk said today on Thursday that he will not sell any more Tesla stock for about another 2 years, which, I mean, guys, this goes back to, you can't really trust everything he says because he said this before. And I mean, how many millions of shares has he sold since? I mean, he sold, I mentioned it in a video recently, how many shares he sold over the past, couple of years, or really the past year or two. It's insane. I mean, it's unbelievable. And he said this before, right? That he's not going to sell anymore. But right now he's saying this. He said it again while speaking in a Twitter Spaces audio chat. And he said, look, he foresees the economy. It's going to be in a serious recession, quote, that's what he said, in 2023, and consumer demand will be lower. So, I mean, if he's dumping Tesla stock into, I mean, if anything, if he truly believes in the company, heading in the recession, when the stock price gets hit even more, he should be buying back the shares. I mean, he should be buying back stock, but I don't know. I mean, maybe that's not what Tesla wants to do at this point, but yeah, if he's selling, if Tesla starts going down under 100 and he starts selling, that goes to show he's just dumping the bag on the on the shareholders, right? Which is not the best sign. And he's been doing that. I mean, he's been doing that to raise money for Twitter. And when he was asked whether he would bring in someone such as David Sachs to run Twitter to allow him to focus more on Tesla, which is what the Tesla shareholders want, Musk dodged the question and said Twitter was a relatively simple business. And I mean, essentially at this point, it's in the air. It's up in the air what's going to happen with him. I mean, he does want to step down from CEO, but who's going to be the new CEO? No one really knows. I mean, it's up in the air at this point. But it looks like if we look here at Tesla stock after the bell, it is up around, it looks like we closed at 125. We're up to 128.75 after the bell. So it's up about 2.7%. Not too bad. But still, I mean, guys, it went down 9% on the day. And net, I mean, from yesterday where it closed at $137, it's at 128 right now after the bell. It is still down a pretty big amount. I mean, if we're looking here from where it's at now to where it closed yesterday, it's down about, from where it closed yesterday, 6.5%. That is not good at all. Bears are clearly still in charge, which I've been saying that on Tesla, over the past couple of weeks. And you guys know that maybe you guys don't know, I just ended up buying a little bit here as a short-term, more speculative gamble type of trade, right? I think Tesla's pretty beaten down in the short term, and I ended up buying a little bit roughly at 128, a little bit over $128 a share. And again, that's where we're pretty much at right now after the bell, a little bit above that. So we'll see. I mean, I'm planning on holding this for about a week or two. I have a stop loss of about 3% on this trade. If I get stopped out, it is what it is. But I do believe we could be seeing a little bounce on Tesla. I think it's overdue. I don't think it's going to break out of the downtrend like I've been saying. It might. I mean, I'm not banking on that. All I'm banking on is just a bit of a spike towards the 130s, 40s. I'm in at 128. Make maybe 10, 15 bucks a share per share that I own. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. I'm not looking to play it for a breakout above $200 or anything crazy. I'm just looking to grab 10, 15 bucks per share here, which I think if we do get a nice rally on the stock, that's easily attainable. And who knows? I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past, but that's what I'm doing. And I'm being open, transparent with you guys and letting you know what I'm up to here with Tesla, which I did hint yesterday to the fact that I wanted to potentially play it. And good thing I didn't buy yesterday because obviously today we went down 9%. Yesterday the stock was trading in the mid-high 130s, and I think at 122, I mean, that's a lot better than mid-high 130s, right? Today we hit 122, consolidated at about 125. So, yeah, at this point, guys, Elon, take it for what it is. He's saying that he's not going to be selling any Tesla for the next 2 years, but I mean, how could he honestly even say that? And why for the next 2 years? Why not for the next 1 year? I mean, does he, it sounds like he makes a lot of his decisions on the whim, on the fly. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna, I'm gonna put a poll on Twitter, and that's how I'm making my decision. If he's saying that he's not gonna sell Tesla now for 2 years, he might change his mind in a month from now. I mean, he might change his mind in 6 months from now, and we've seen him do this before. So it could spark this, what he just said, could spark a short-term rally, and who knows, maybe this is the catalyst that's going to make me some money with my trade, right? It could spark a short-term rally, but this could easily fizzle out in a week or two. For even in a couple of days. Tomorrow it could fizzle out. Next week it could fizzle out easily. And Tesla, I mean, Elon Musk, guys, listen, he could easily go back on his word in a month from now, in 2 weeks from now, and sell more Tesla. And honestly, the way I'm looking at it is, if Elon Musk does sell another big batch of Tesla, it's going under $100 easily. I mean, that is what would send Tesla under $100 a share, no doubt in my mind. If the news came out in like a month or two, or I don't know, whenever he sold another couple billion, oh, Tesla's going to be going under $100 in my eyes, no doubt about it. And at that point, hopefully I'm out, with of my trade. I will be, either I'm going to stop out at that point, or I'm going to make money. But, if it goes under 100 and into, the 80s, 70s, then you can make a serious case for a long-term position in my eyes. 50 to $75 is where Tesla could really be opening up as a legitimate, decent value. I mean, for real, guys, it's one that was at $400 where it was obviously a bubble. People were buying it, but it was clearly a bubble. I was talking about it. I mean, a lot of people were talking about it. And if it does get to under 100, that's going to be a point where it's going to be down 75, 80% from all-time highs. And you can make an argument that, it's a decent value. And we're not going to get too deep into the valuation of Tesla. Maybe one day I'll break down a bunch of numbers on Tesla. That would be fun. Maybe one day we'll do that. So let's talk about some other stocks here, guys. And if you're enjoying the video, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And if you haven't checked out my second channel, Stocks Talks Money, go subscribe. We have about 200 subscribers, and let's try and get to 1,000, guys. That's the goal here in the next month or two. 1,000 subscribers. Go to Stocks Talks Money, guys. Make sure to subscribe. And let's talk about CarMax. CarMax reported earnings today, and their stock went down about 4% on the day. But if we're looking at where it was in the in the morning, was that in the pre-market, it was at $47.50. So initially, this thing dropped 20%. I mean, this thing is volatile, guys. It closed at $60. Earnings came out this morning. Boom, down 20. And it pretty much recovered. Talk about a recovery. It recovered 20% from that low, $47.50. That is crazy. What the heck? Unreal. So, yeah, it went from $47.50. It closed at $57. So, big move there. For CarMax. Let me see here what they ended up doing. I forget. Where the heck is it here, guys? They ended up doing 24 cents in earnings per share, which missed the 72-cent estimate. Oh my goodness, that is awful. And sales came in at $6.5 billion, which missed the $7.42 billion estimate. Unreal. Double miss for CarMax. And sales were down 23.7% to $6.51 billion. So, I mean, yeah, year-over-year sales, that makes sense. 23.7%. They're getting destroyed. Let me see here. CarMax has paused its share repurchase program amid its Q3 performance and continued market uncertainties. That's not a good sign, guys. Well, I guess it is. I mean, they're retaining more money. They don't want to buy back shares. They rather hold it in cash right now. I guess that is a good defensive position. Heading into, I'm assuming what they believe is going to be a rough recession, which I believe as well. We're heading into a recession, guys, for sure. I mean, I think we're already in a recession. I mean, not the White House doesn't think that, Powell doesn't think that, but we know that we are. But I think it's going to get worse, and a lot of these companies, are hinting to that as well. So yeah, CarMax, it tanked in the morning, recovered a lot of that gain. And honestly, guys, this is one that I would not touch with a 10-foot pole. There's no way. Just because based on what I just said, we're heading into a deeper recession. And historically, what does not do well what does poorly in a recession? Automotive, auto sales, automotive companies. That's why I'm staying away from Tesla as a long-term investment right now. I'm in it as a trade, but I'm staying away from it because I think it could be coming down a lot more due to this, recession, right? Ford is another one that I'd love to own, but I think it's going to be coming down a bit more. CarMax is another one, which I don't want to own CarMax, but it's vulnerable to more downside, no doubt in my mind. So, yeah, these car companies, guys, you got to be careful. Elon Musk, he has a great way of charming all his fans, and it's almost like a cult following, right? I mean, you guys know that. I don't need to tell you that. And a lot of people don't realize and look at history and see what's happened to car companies throughout the other, rough times that we've had in the economy. You got to go back and look, guys, especially in 2008. So Paychex is another one. Let me pull it up here. Did they report this morning? Yeah, Paychex reported. PAYX is the ticker symbol. Let me see what they ended up doing, guys. They ended up doing 99 cents adjusted EPS versus 95 cents, which beat. Sales came in at 1.17 billion, which missed the 1.19 billion. And they see full year 23 total revenue growth of 8%, adjusted EPS growth 12 to 14%, not too bad. And did they go down? Yeah, 2.3% red day today for Paychex. And it looks like they were down earlier in the day, to 108. Oh my gosh, and they recovered. So at one point they were down about 6%. But they did recover now. A lot of that, they filled a lot of that gap. But maybe there's some more juice left in that rally, guys. 114.15, maybe we could fill. Maybe we could run a little bit more here on Paychex. Keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out on it. And let me see what else ended up going green. Or is there much of anything that went green today, guys? Humana, however the heck you want to say this company, guys. This ended up going up 0.9% on the day. Looks like we're still trading in this channel like we've outlined before here on the channel, the YouTube channel, guys. You guys caught what I did there, right? Nike is another one that went up 0.8%. Another strong day for Nike after it had a tremendous run after earnings. And this is one that if it breaks 120, which has been a multi-month resistance, I think we're going to have a lot more upside on Nike. Keep your eyes out on it. Let me see here. Bob had a green day. Snapchat had a green day today. What had a red day? I want to see some stocks that went deeply in the red. Tesla, obviously, we talked about it. Applied Materials. Oh, wow. Applied Materials down 7.8%. Now it officially, with today's move, dumped under the main 180 moving average here on the 4-hour. Now you could pretty much stamp the lower high in. I mean, clearly, bulls are an advantage here on, they have the advantage here on AMAT, no doubt about it. NVIDIA down 7%. Have you guys seen NVIDIA? This thing has been dismantled. It failed here at the 180 SMA, which there's no doubt about that. I mean, it's clear as day. We failed there. We have a lower high. We put in a lower high right there. And at this point, guys, this is in free fall mode. I mean, who knows where it could go? I mean, we have some key support levels coming up. Let me show you one. Right here. 135. You could argue we're going 130. So NVIDIA is not looking good. It's in free fall. AMD is probably looking the same. Let me pull it up. Pretty much the same. Many lower highs are being put in. We're under the moving averages. We have a death cross, guys. So markets are not looking good. Tesla's not looking good, guys. But who knows? Maybe we do get that rally. And I am banking on it again because I am in some Tesla right now as a short-term trade. And it's not anything crazy. I'm not YOLOing my entire account, but I do have some shares here. And we'll see how it goes down, guys. We'll see how it goes down. With Elon Musk, things are very unpredictable, which adds a lot of risk. But if we do get that rally, there could be a good amount of return there as well. So if you all found value in the video, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Get up to 20 stocks from Moomoo, each up to $2,000 with at least a $100 deposit. And that's limited time, guys. If you haven't gotten your free stocks from Moomoo, use that link down below. And you could also get 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited, which is also limited time. And if you want to check out the Patreon, all of those, guys, they're linked down below. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching as always. Peace out.